Welcome to Stats Madness. Joining me today is Frank Hardy, here to break down Manchester United's thrilling 3-2 win over Nottingham Forest. With this win, United sits third on 65 points, while Forest is 16th on 43. Let's start with that nail-biting finish. That finish was certainly a highlight. Now Frank, let's dig into the numbers. How did Manchester United manage such dominance over Nottingham Forest?
Well, Jamie, Manchester United's attacking edge was clear. They had an impressive 29 total shots compared to Nottingham Forest's 11. More so, they hit the woodwork twice, whereas Forest didn't manage any. This offensive pressure was a key factor in their victory.
Wait, really? And with all those shots, how did the goal attempts compare between the teams?
Manchester United had 9 goal attempts, tripling Forest's 3. One standout player was Bruno Fernandes, who was instrumental in creating big chances. His influence in the final third was pivotal, setting up 5 big chances compared to Forest's 3. This attacking depth made the difference.
Interesting, because you mentioned Fernandes' impact, but how did the game's momentum shift during different intervals?
Manchester United surged early, dominating successful long passes with 8 in the first 15 minutes. However, Nottingham Forest controlled the 15-30 window with a 36.5% successful crosses percentage. In the final 15 minutes, United regained control, taking 10 shots to Forest's 4. These shifts in momentum were critical in defining the match's flow, with United's late offensive push sealing their dominance.
Those momentum shifts were fascinating. Now, how did Manchester United's performance today compare to their season averages?
Manchester United excelled today, posting 21 shots inside box, far surpassing their 10.43 season average. Their total shots also surged to 29, compared to 15.81. They created 5 big chances, whereas they usually manage 2.76. Additionally, they had 8 shots on target, up from 5.65. On defence, interceptions rose to 10, slightly above their 8.43 norm, marking a significant improvement.
Those improved interceptions were key, but how does Manchester United's league standing shape up overall?
Manchester United confirms their elite status in shots inside box, with a match value of 21, placing them in the top 10% league-wide. Their average of 10.43 easily surpasses the league norm of 8.38.
Interesting, because their shots total also stood out. How does that compare to others?
Right, with 29 total shots, they sit at the top 0% in the league. Their season average of 15.81 is well above the 12.44 norm. Their elite status is undeniable.
Manchester United's standing is impressive, but how do they fare against their top 6 peers overall?
Manchester United excels in shots total, averaging 15.81, outpacing Manchester City and Arsenal. However, they lag in big chances created, averaging 2.76 versus Manchester City's 3.25. Despite leading in long passes at 49.51, they're behind in ball possession, averaging 51.89, trailing Liverpool's 59.19. Balancing these metrics could elevate their peer standing.
While Manchester United's peer comparison is intriguing, how does Nottingham Forest's latest performance stack up against their season average?
Nottingham Forest showed a spike in blocks with 12 today, surpassing their 4.3 average. They also made 5 saves, exceeding their usual 2.86. Shots inside box hit 11, up from 7.7. Big chances created were 3, typically 1.75. Interestingly, big chances missed were 2 against a 1.06 benchmark, indicating room for improvement. The overall performance is trending upward, as seen in these key areas.
So, Nottingham Forest exceeded their season averages, but who were the standout performers on the field today?
Elliot Anderson was the standout in the midfield unit with a dominant 8.3 rating, controlling his zone effectively. Bruno Fernandes excelled in the forward line with a 7.98 rating, driving Manchester United's attack. Matheus Cunha closely followed with a 7.97, adding depth to their forward momentum. Lisandro Martinez was solid in defence, securing a 7.38 rating. Meanwhile, Morgan Gibbs-White contributed a solid 7.3 in the midfield for Nottingham Forest, keeping the unit organised. These performances highlight the key players who impacted today's game.
Elliot Anderson certainly made waves with his performance. How did his numbers stack up against his season average?
Elliot Anderson was exceptional today, achieving an 8.3 rating compared to his 7.27 average. He won 9 duels above his 7.92 average and made 3 key passes, a personal best over 1.87. Anderson also excelled with 9 ball recoveries and 3 interceptions, both surpassing his usual figures of 8.14 and 1.48 respectively. This marks a standout performance for him.
Elliot Anderson's numbers today were impressive compared to his season average. How does he rank against league benchmarks?
Elliot Anderson is truly a standout. His 8.3 rating places him in the top 2% of midfielders, far above the league average of 6.78. In duels won, he's in the top 1% with 9 per game versus a 3.67 league norm. His ball recoveries and passes in the final third also rank him in the top 1% and 2% respectively, with 9 recoveries against a 3.3 average and 14 passes compared to the league's 4.22.
Given Elliot Anderson's impressive league standing, how does he stack up against his positional peers in key metrics?
Elliot Anderson leads his peers across several key areas. His tackles average of 2.8 surpasses Declan Rice's 2.2. In duels won, Anderson dominates with 7.9, well above Bruno Guimaraes' 4.5. His ball recovery at 8.1 is unmatched, outpacing Declan Rice's 4.3. Finally, Anderson's 10.1 passes in the final third outclass Enzo Fernandez's 7.9. These stats show he's at the elite level among midfielders.
So, while Bruno Fernandes excels among his peers, how does he fare against his own season benchmarks?
Bruno Fernandes stays consistent with a rating of 7.98, matching his average of 7.74. He shined with 7 key passes, far exceeding his 3.97 average. His 8 chances created also smashed his usual 3.66. Furthermore, he achieved 2 big chances created, improving upon his 1.63 typical output.
Bruno Fernandes is smashing his own benchmarks, but how does he rank among the league's top midfielders?
Bruno Fernandes is in the elite tier with a rating of 7.98, towering over the league average of 6.83. He's in the top 1% for key passes with 7, against a league norm of 1.83. In chances created, he's again top 1% with 8 versus 1.83 average. For big chances created, he's top 2% with 2, surpassing the league's 1.17. And today, Bruno Fernandes has equalled the Premier League record for the most assists recorded in a season after registering his 20th of the campaign.
Bruno Fernandes' standout performance highlighted Manchester United's 3-2 victory, revealing contrasting tactical approaches. Frank Hardy's insights into key pass and chances created stats were enlightening. Thanks, Frank. And thank you, viewers, for joining us on Stats Madness. Until next time, stay curious and engaged.